Hey guys, good morning. I have an order right now to get long 92.71, and if we get filled, that would be great. So 92.71, and with a 20 penny stop, that would mean the stop is at 92.51, and it's currently like 6:53, almost 6:54 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. So I'm going to go long right here. All I need is to get my fill. So we need 92.71, and I will have my fill to go long. And my target, I will start taking profits first of all with 15 pennies. Then I'll look for 30, and then 50, and so on and so forth. So the market should work its way up to 93.61 at some point. At some point, it should work its way up to 93.61. Now that would be up here. Now let's see what's going to happen. I hope everybody had a great weekend. It's back to school, and as everyone knows, to get the kids going back to school is a little tough. There it goes. What it's going to do is it's going to move up and down, and then it's going to come back a little bit more. It's going to make a move. Okay, let's keep an eye on this. Now what's happening here as we're watching is we're getting like what we call our little ZL effect, which is causing this just to hang here for a couple minutes, seconds, and then it's going to finally get ready, hopefully, to explode if it can get out of the playground, and then start getting up here around 93 to 93.10. So you all know what we're doing based on what I've just told you. This is all real time, ladies and gentlemen. This is like pretend time. This is all real time. Obviously, you aren't going to get filled yet at 92.71. You hit the old button to get filled, which is a market order, and you get in at 72 or 73. It doesn't matter. You know why it doesn't matter? Because you have a 20 penny stop. And as long as you have your stop in place, it just doesn't matter. So we're going to come back in a couple minutes because I don't want to keep this running because, as you know, it gets very boring. Let's see how high we go. All right, guys, as you can see, coming back at you here, we're still hanging out right around 92.72, 92.71. I have a full expectation that this is going to go into the 90s, 92.90, 92.95, and then work its way all the way up to 93.60. Let's see what's going to happen. So the question is, did the 92.71 get filled? Well, of course it did. Of course it did. It would have got filled 9 minutes later right here. As I said, you could have just banged it out and gone long here. Or you wait. It doesn't matter because you're going to have your 20 penny stop. So your 20 penny stop from, let's say, 92.72 or 92.73, because you aren't going to get it unless you waited for a couple seconds or 9 minutes. Your stop from 72.73 is what? 52.53, right? So if it hits 52 or 53, well, the party's over on this trade for you. So you allow the trade to go to where we expected to go. Now, once we have 72, 73, we'll call it 88. Once it gets to 88, Then you have 15 pennies in the trade, and you take a contract off. And then once we get to 30 pennies, which would be what? 98. About 93, 94. Keep it simple. Actually, I'm sorry. 73, 93, 03. So then this is 15 pennies. This would be 30 pennies. And then 50 pennies would be right around 23. So this is 15 pennies, 30 pennies, 50 pennies. So on 3 contracts, when this gets up here to 93, let's say 23, that's $150 plus $300 plus $500. You can do the math. I'm going to put us on pause and we're going to wait and see where we go. Now, if it comes down to 92.53, we get stopped out. I'll be back. All right, real quick here, not too much is happening. I just wanted to put on the chart here. If we see 92.53, I will get stopped out on my trade. Once we get up there to about 92.83, or 88, excuse me, I'll see 15 pennies. And once we get up to 93 and change, 30 pennies, and then 93.20 and change, 50 pennies. So we're going to see what happens. What I do is once I have 15 pennies locked in, then I go what I call minus 15 pennies. And there's about 4 different ways to manage your trade. So once we get up here to 92.88, I will have 15 pennies made, and then automatically, you have your ATMs set up, and I'll go to minus 15, meaning that I'll take a total break even on what I'm doing here, and then 30 pennies I'll be looking for, and then 50 pennies. Of course, when I teach the methodology, you learn exactly how, when, why, and where to put your stops as you're moving, as far as trailing and so on and so forth. Now let's see if we can get to 92.88, and that would give us our first 15 pennies. And then, as you can see in the chart, everything is here on the chart. There's no surprises. This is all done in real live time here. I would be shocked if we don't get at least 15 pennies out of this. I'll be back in a couple. Now, obviously, you want to make sure you have an ATM strategy totally set up. So we're looking for 92.88 for our first 15 pennies. So one contract will come off at 92.88. And there we go. And now we're looking for 30 pennies on more contracts. So let's just say you were trading 3, as I have down here. Something's going to come off at 15. Now we're going to try for 30 pennies. Should be able to get to 30 pennies pretty easily. Easy? What do you mean easy? It should be able to be somewhat easy to get up there to about 93.03. I would be surprised if we can't get there. Now, as you know, 30 pennies is $300 a contract. So let's see what's going to happen here. Once again, you're looking at it in live time. It's 7:17 and change a.m. Eastern Standard Time. I'll put us on mute so we don't end up with a 2-hour video here. Hold on. Now, the methodology, which is the methodology that I created many years ago, is purely objective with all of your entries. This setup is an S-play. It's not like I said, gee, let me just take a trade, because we never do that. That would be not right. So at this point, we're looking for 93.03. 93.02, 93.03, that would give us 30 pennies. And then for 50 pennies, we needed to get up there to about 93.23. But right now, you can't lose. It's a free trade. And to me, a free trade is everything. A free trade's a happy trade. Okay? So let's see what happens. I'm going to put everybody on mute here. And we're going to see if we can get up to 93.03. Let's see. It should get there. It should easily get there. 93.03, and we'll see if it has more energy to get up there. Now, what we always look for is what we call a material change in the marketplace. Now, if something like that would occur, then it would give us a reason to maybe take additional profits prior to hitting our targets. Right now, full throttle ahead. We're looking for 93.03 for 30 pennies on our trade, and then hopefully we can get up there to 93.23 for 50 pennies. We'll be back at you. I'm just going to put us on pause. Thanks. Okay, as we're watching this, some people are going to be looking at this and saying, well, gee, the market's pausing out. That's absolutely fine. My expectation is it's going to get to at least 93.03, then go to 93.14, and hopefully get up to 93.20 and change. So let's see what happens. Remember, guys, it's a free trade. You can't lose on the trade. It's already gone 23 pennies in our favor, so you can't lose. But we would like to see 93.03 and then 93.23. That would be great. Okay, so we're looking to see, can it get up there to give us at least 30 clams, 30 pennies? We need 93.03. We should be able to get to 93.03 and maybe 93.14 and then 93.23. And then we're looking at 50 pennies on a trade, all in front of your eyeballs. And it's a purely objective trade. There's no hocus pocus garbage and any of the other things that all these other clowns out there use. Volume indicators and all this other junk. I call it junk because it is junk. There is no such thing as a volume indicator to begin with when you're trading at 7 o'clock in the morning. That's why they all do and start when they do, because they have no idea what they're doing. They pretend they do with their little Bollinger Bands and all their other garbage that they use. If you want a purely objective methodology, go to www.futurestradingcoach.com and go to the contact me and say, Sam, please teach me. And I'll be more than happy to see if I can get you to where you need to go. As you can see right now, the market's hanging out, going a little bit sideways. It's a free trade. The market's moved about 23 pennies thus far in our favor. It's a winning trade. Nobody can take what you have so far away from you. I still fully expect it to go higher. A little pullback, so what? We'll be back with you in a couple. So here's the $1 million question. It's coming back toward the entry, right? Let's say you had 4 contracts, 3 or 4 contracts. Most people out there trade 1 contract, which is somewhat unfortunate because you can't do too much with 1 contract as far as management, psychology, and everything else. It's not a healthy situation. But as you're looking at this, if you had, let's say, 4 contracts, what you can certainly do is you have something off of 15 pennies because that's the rule. Okay, there is a reason why it's coming down. All right, there's a reason why it's coming down. Is it a strong enough reason for me to get out of all my contracts? No, because I didn't get out of all my contracts. But now to go to minus 15, because I'm in from 73. Okay, so if I'm in from 73, 58. Why do I have 53? Well, now that was the original stop, 20 pennies. So now 92.58 will give you a total break even on your trade. Now anyone who's out there could have taken 20 plus pennies out of this trade thus far. I still expect it to go to 30 and 50, and the long-range target's up here around 93.60. Let's see what's going to happen. It's all good. It's all good. Okay, I'm going to leave everybody with this, and that is the trade moved to our first target of 15 pennies, and it stopped. And depending on how you managed your trade thus far, you can't lose on your trade. You have profits. The question now is, can it get up to 30 and 50 and maybe even the long-range target right now? Well, I guess we'll have to see. We've been in the trade almost an hour now, which is obviously very interesting for a lot of people out there who say, I can't hold for an hour. Sure you can. So keep an eye on this. I hope this brings to light some of the things we do here at FuturesTradingCoach.com, because no one else does it. And no one else does it the way we do it. Keep an eye on this and see if we get up to 93.60. Guys, thank you. Everybody have a great day. And let's make as much money as we possibly can. Take care.